Ladies and gentlemen, undead and ghosts, welcome back to another fabulous but spooky show of Up All Night. I'm your host, Henry, accompanied by none other than my co-host, Jonathan. And today, I believe we got something special, don't we, Jonathan?
Yes, Henry. If you cannot tell by all the decorations put up. Yeah. Today is Halloween, so welcome to our special Halloween Up All Night special.
But first, before we continue, let's get into the news. President Bohr officially took the reins after his inauguration ceremony, making him the 12th president in Kelvin's history. It is said President Bohr has brought an incredible amount of new energy and life to Kelvin. He has also temporarily increased funding for student organizations after budgets were cut by 40% the past 5 years.
In sports, Calvin Athletics is celebrating 50 years of having a hockey program here at Calvin. This milestone has helped rejuvenate interest in the potential creation of a women's hockey team, inspired existing teams to strive to compete better at a national level.
And I also believe some breaking news has just come up this past Friday, hasn't it?
Yes, Henry. It was just announced that football is coming to Calvin University. Not only football, but also men's volleyball and women's acrobatics team, I believe. Some full excitement towards the program, while others question if it is a priority to fund athletics and cut fine arts.
But I believe if there is one thing we can all agree on, it's that Kelvin's undefeated football record is coming to an end.
You're technically not wrong there, Henry. And for today, we have a guest to talk about Halloween. I'm excited. He's my friend. He's your friend.
He's my friend too.
Yeah, let's look at all the decorations and how they were put up for the spooky season. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to introduce an amazing student, a marketing major, a film minor, my friend, Joe Haddock.
Thanks
Welcome,
for having me,
Joe.
Jonathan.
So how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm excited. So
Yeah.
tonight, it's Halloween. A lot of people have great plans. What are you doing tonight?
Oh, I didn't know it was Halloween. I just always wear the cowboy hat.
I like it.
I really
looks
don't
good.
have plans tonight. I'm doing a trip tomorrow, so I'm leaving at 5 a.m., so I'm going to go to bed pretty early.
Really? Where are you going?
Going back home. I'm bringing some friends back to my farm, and they're going to play with my goats. They're going to ride my four-wheeler. They're just going to have a great time. Spend some time in the thumb of Michigan. You know, that's much better than West Michigan.
So where is that? Where's the
So
thumb?
that'd be the thumb.
Oh, the thumb. I got
Yeah.
it now. So speaking of farms, what does Halloween look like on a farm?
So Halloween on a farm, there's not much to do. You can't really trick or treat. You run the risk of getting shot. You know, you just show up to somebody's house in the middle of the night. It's kind of bad. So when I was growing up, my parents would take me to my grandparents' city, which was about half hour, 45 minutes away, and that's where I did all my trick or treating with my cousins, my grandparents. We just had a big group and we had a good time.
So when you were trick or treating, what costume did you wear? Did you just wear a cowboy outfit the entire time, or all grown up, or what'd you do?
No, I always mixed it up as a kid. I think like one of my first costumes was I dressed up as a dinosaur, like a little baby toddler in a stuffed dinosaur costume. That was great.
That's when you peaked, right?
Yeah, that was when I peaked really young.
And
I
it
was
went
peak
down from
cuteness.
there.
Yeah, it was all downhill for the cuteness. I did have some clever costumes. Some of my favorites come from high school. I was a cup of Joe, so I dressed up as a Starbucks
That's
cup.
clever right there.
I think one was kind of easy to get around the town is I dressed up as Elliot and E.T. on the bike. So I had E.T. in my basket, and I just rode my bike around town with my friends.
the
That
way
was
to
kind
do
of
it,
fun.
yeah.
So
So when you're trick or treating, we all have our favorite candies. What were your favorite candies to get?
I didn't have a favorite specific candy. I just loved going to the really rich-looking houses and getting the king-size candy bars from those houses. That was the best. Like those little bags of pretzels, those were my least favorite. But whenever you got the king-size candy bar, you knew you struck it good.
So when you grow up, you have your own kids. Are you going to be the house that gives out the candy bars, or are you going to be the ones that give out the pretzels?
Oh, I'm definitely not giving out the pretzels. At the very least, the minis, but I love to be at that stage in life where I can give out king-size candy bars to all the kids. That would mean I have a nice house, too, because they always correlate. King-size candy bar, king-size mansion. So
That's true. Away from Halloween, tell us about yourself. How'd you come to Calvin? What are you studying? everything about that.
All right, so I grew up in Michigan, so I wanted a school that was in Michigan. And I love the Grand Rapids area. So I went to GVSU for a tour, then I found Calvin. And what really was the nail in the coffin, for Halloween, that made me come to Calvin was I got into the Artist Collaborative program. So they sent me to Liverpool just over the summer for 3 weeks. And that was a program that I really wanted to be a part of. And then that's what made me come to Calvin. And the film program was much better than a lot of the other film programs I looked at. And I wanted to get a business degree as well. So both programs looked great, and that's why I came here.
So you're a film minor, I'm a film major.
Yeah.
We've all worked on a lot of films. Tell us about some of the films we worked on. We've worked on a film together.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so last spring, we worked on a film together at Room 315. That was by Adrian Van C. And that was a great time. I learned a lot of the higher end roles. I was a producer on that. So I did a lot of the paperwork, the organization, made sure everything ran smoothly during and after filming. You did audio, correct?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
And that was a great time. That
Yes.
was fun. We did it in 2 nights. That was great that we got it all done that time mostly. And yeah, that was pretty smooth sailing.
Do you have a favorite film, like
Ooh.
overall?
My favorite film, my sophomore year, I got fast-tracked into 351 Doc. And that was one of the favorite classes I took. And one of my favorite films I did a documentary on my then roommate at the time, Jonathan, as he did fly fishing and tried to catch a salmon. So we followed him and, got some really cool footage. I didn't realize how cool fly fishing could look on film, but it was great.
Did he end up catching one?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
Well,
that's a
he
bummer.
got it on the hook and it got
Oh,
off. So.
yeah, that's a problem. So going away from film, well, not really. It is Halloween. Do you have a favorite Halloween film?
Ooh, it has to be, I'm a sucker for like some slashers, especially older slasher films. So it's got to be either like Scream or the first Halloween.
That's good. My family always watched The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So,
Ooh.
that one really resonates with me. With making films, have you ever made a horror film? I've tried a couple times. Tell us your experience
Yeah,
with that.
I've definitely tried once. It's definitely something that's hard to do. Getting a good scare and building the tension right I realize is very hard. In 290, just last year I believe, is when I did try to do a horror film about John Wayne Gacy. And it was still a great time. I did enjoy it. It just didn't turn out how I thought, but it kind of turned out funny, and I liked that, So I was happy to show it to my friends still.
Well, that's all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you so much for coming. This has been a great time. I love talking to you, talking about Halloween. But let's take a look at what's happening next week.
Elementary.
Thank you to everyone working on tonight's Halloween special. And remember to have a fun but stay safe tonight while trick-or-treating. What costume will you be wearing tonight, Jonathan?
So I think I'm going to try to put together a Uncharted. So I'm going to get some khaki, some combat boots, wear a white T-shirt. You actually had a really good costume the other night, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So Midnight Madness happened, and I decided I wanted to build my own costume. Created stilts and created a basically 10-foot tall giraffe. Since I'm already tall myself, kind of played into the joke. But yeah, so 4 stilts, really long neck, like 10 feet tall. Walked in, people were very surprised to see me.
Yeah, I
Didn't
saw
really
you.
know who it was.
I
but-
saw you on the way in. Why didn't you walk out on the court?
Yeah, I didn't really walk out because the leg kind of snapped, and so it kind of was collapsing on me, so I couldn't really move. Kind of stationary, but other than that, it went well. I thought it was cool. A lot of people also thought it was cool. So.
What are you doing tonight for Halloween?
I don't know. I haven't really had a costume picked out. That was kind of my big thing. So haven't really decided yet. Probably just gonna go somewhere with a suit like this. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, you know it works.
Yeah.
Well, this has been all the time we've had. It's been an amazing
This
episode.
has been an amazing episode.
I'm
Joe was great.
Jonathan,
And I'm Henry.
and this has been
Up all night.